place last season was an experience enough. They know day number 2 is not going to get easier. You got to create these moments just like this as they continue to land the shots from the distance. But now that they have the surge, they know sticking in the storm is not going to be the play. They have to get themselves a sweet spot, so they're just gathering the information, figuring out what duos are around left, right, and center, so they know how to get as quickly as possible close to that center circle.
Taking a look at Arkham and Epic, they've had some difficulties playing as solos in the previous matches, which has kind of slowed down their path here to that #1 spot, currently sitting in second with 312 points. But seeing that the zone has pulled southwest closer to Landjock Punisher and Rex and Reed's drop, they do have to make a quicker rotate, as Bacon and Zuki's one of the duos that hasn't taken this quicker rotate. They actually are staying behind here to see if they can find tags and damage, as they do have a cannon that they can use close by to get that rotate done quickly. But they want to find those duos that are kind of rotating in late with not too much loot, maybe even not too much shield, to give them that opportunity to do damage, maybe even get another elimination.
Yeah, and it's because of that cannon that you mentioned that is going to allow them to kind of late rotate in. Otherwise, you better believe, I think everybody would be screaming, why aren't they rotating? You got to get there faster, because how consistent they've been up until this point. They know every facet of their game plan, but a team that knows they've fallen, they have slipped and kind of have that speed bump in the road of their path, have to start getting aggressive, picking up these eliminations. That's Reed, that's Rex sitting in 4th place, going up against Tavern and Nico here. A team that likes to play a little passive. They go for the Storm Surge shots, but when a push comes to shove, they're not ready to, or they're always ready to fight it out.
Rex and Reet having their drop spot be Greasy Grove and being so close to the zone now. I mean, you can tell that they've been able to conserve a lot of loot, a lot of materials, a lot of resources. So taking an engagement like this without a clear advantage could be too risky. And they might be thinking just that. Have they disengaged? Now with the damage, putting themselves 151 above the threshold, they can just continue playing it safe.
Yeah, even though they don't got the eliminations, you talked about it, landing in Greasy Grove, Zone continuing to pull that direction. They built the high ground, they got the surge, but React losing his duo early on. And I say early because there's still 41 teams left alive. Only 8 players need to go down, and Jesus and Chicken are going to be 2 of those players, but Storm Surge still active. So anybody that is continuously below it has to find the shot. So luckily for React, he's 333 above. So the only worry for him right now is this storm that is actually ticking, but keeping his location unknown. Lime, Chip, go and bypass him. So this is going to be a great opportunity for him to kind of grab that reboot as well.
Looking at Batman Booga too. Now 15 above the Storm Surge threshold. I haven't seen them as much in the Command Cavern up top in these matches. I feel like they've been rotating a bit quicker now, getting to the zone, getting to that dead side of zone quickly. Problem with dead side of zone is there's not as many duos that you can take shots at, which is why they might be so close to that Storm Surge threshold. But I mean, they're above 17 above, but they're above. Give them more time to look for damage, look for tags. That's Wheels now, seeing if he can connect that angle, connect that shot, and he does. Double 27. It's gonna bring them up a bit more, slowly but surely, getting into that safe spot.
Yep, I like the way you pointed that out. A lot of their surge came because how late they stayed over towards Command Cavern. They knew they had the cannon to make the rotation out, but like I said moments ago, it's the same reason why they found themselves trailing behind as Jade and Victor V taking a ton of damage. No shields to their name unless he tries to find a moment to stabilize. The storm ticking in. He's going to get dropped back to the lobby. That's Foxity. That's Lime who dove. They both pick up a pair of eliminations on that duo. 3 more points to their total. But if you look at 926 above the damage threshold, they're playing this game absolutely right. But it goes back to that drop spot and so much high ground that they possessed before.
You know, the Faxity and North Benchy Fisher are going to be feeling happy or feeling confident with 1,019 damage above the threshold. 237 points in the 5th place spot too. I mean, doing a good job on the leaderboard and doing a good job in this 10th match. As we look at another duo that's doing the same, 777 above the threshold. 1st place spot right now. Has a great loadout, has mobility, really has everything they need to make it happen, and Favs almost even annihilating a player from afar.
Wow, just knowing You said almost. He did take down Creep. First-time finalists. After day number 1, out of all our first-time finalists, they were the ones that were highest placed on that leaderboard. But for them, getting to finals is not going to be enough. It's about getting as high of a placement as possible, as much money in your pocket as possible. But for a team that wants more than just money, they want to continue to wield the axe of champions. That's Favs and Snacky, who does not seem to be slowing down just yet.
Keeping their momentum running. 10 seconds left till the third zone starts to close. Does pull a bit more south, so a lot of these duos will have to rotate. But I want to hear what Clay has to say, because he does have some info for us.
You know, you talk about rotating. I want to point out Arkham and Epic Whale have rotated all the way to the south side of zone. And on top of that, while doing that, they're still above Surge. So we're looking for a great game for them.
Great play call by Clay. Like I said, Panda and Clay, Kelly, we have the best desk. I don't care what any region has to say. And if anybody disagrees with me, you just have your opinion, and I'm okay with that, because we have some fantastic casters and analysts on all regions, all around. As you see, Arkham Epic continuing to put the shots all around. Nigel is going to do it by himself. 7th place, but luckily for him, he's still 149 above the damage threshold. So that's why he's got to pick and choose his battles when he opens up and reveals himself.
Pick and choose that correct opportunity as Nigel continue to look for angles here. 197 points, has lost his partner, Angel. Love their names. I mean, it works so well. Hope to see this duo come out on top. I mean, seeing that they're in the 7th place spot here, they really can make it happen if they keep up that consistency. As we have players all around the surrounding areas. Vacant Zuki's taking shots onto Evil and his duo partner here. Russo actually taking down on one. That means Evil is left alone now as a solo, and he's getting pressure applied to him from so many different angles, forced to use the reinforced walls.
I like this. Only 3rd zone. It's not ticking for too much, but that is going to increase here in just a few seconds as the next zone will reveal itself. I do think they have the timing, and if they find that loot pile at the bottom, they'll have more than enough to kind of pick up where they left off here just moments ago. But there's so many teams stacked on the outside, a couple more that are trying to find their way in, trying to save the launch pad as long as possible. But it's going to become at a cost. The cost of resources, the cost of those heals to get themselves back up, and they might even still have to use it, because on one goes down yet again. The pressure from the lobby is insurmountable as these players are trying to survive, but the shots won't stop. They will continue to fire off as Evo might be thinking about, can I do this as a solo, as his player is going to be looking to still remain a target here from the rest of the players in the lobby. The timing is not going to be there for the revive to come off as the damage. Look at this pressure, Takata.
Look at this pressure. It's non-stop, Jacob. I mean, if they have the ammunition for it, they're going to keep it rolling, keep it coming. As Evil now going to try and take his partner up here, but does not have the time as the opponents get straight into that box, leaving Evil in a sticky situation, ultimately getting eliminated. Russo, Kido secure those 2 eliminations, but Dragon and Leech, they hear it. They hear that action, want a piece of the pie as they come close, come down onto their opponents, and now looking to see if they can maybe even recycle a launch pad here as the zone has pulled a bit of a ways away, but Favs has even been knocked down here, leaving Snacky as a solo.
That was Kinzo who got the knock. Nitrix who picks up the elimination. That's going to be a big boost of confidence for Arkham and Epic if they saw that one go down. But Snacky has more elims versus players in the top 10 than any other player. If you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. And Snacky and Favs are not going to stray away from that. They're not going to stray away from any fight, no matter who it is. And that's why you see, even as a solo, he's continuing to put out the pressure with the combat SMG. But talk about solos. Rex is going to fall. Reeds by himself, bobbing, weaving in and out of these covers, but the pressure is there. He gets the knock onto Foxity, but he cannot stop. He cannot drop. He has to have so much left in the tank because the pressure is coming from all angles. The siphon's going to come in. The pressure is not going to stop, though, as the shots are still reigning supreme. That's North Benji Fishy that is trying to go ahead and get that redemption from his fallen comrade.
But ultimately, North Benji Fishy gets taken out, gets eliminated, and now Reet might just have a chance to pick up Rex. I mean, we had Snacky and Favs. One of them went down, leaving the other as a solo, and it almost just happened to Reet here, but he did get to pick up Rex using those reinforced walls. I mean, they can be so beneficial in certain situations like that. We need to pick up a duo partner. We need to stop the focus from being on you. as Rex and Reet now are going to recuperate all that shield they lost. But the issue is they don't have too much time to think of the rotate now since they were in that engagement, that scary situation now. They just have 23 seconds till zone starts closing, and they got to act fast. Do they use the launch pad they have? Do they look for a recycle? Do they even try and swim it out? Might be a bit risky, but you never really know.
Yeah, so much loot to be garnered there. You can see them switching up the loadouts, making sure that they have the perfect loadout for their play style. You know, Reek kind of emerging as the IGL of the duo against him and Rex. As you see Calibuca, Solution, a little bit of high ground, Chicken and Mecton. I was just saying, we haven't seen much of them, but they can explode at a moment's notice. But everybody needing to rotate across these waters, and that's going to be a treacherous journey. As you see Arkham already getting his health dwindled down, but Batman, Booga, and Wheels, they possess the high ground in this position, so it's theirs for the taking.
Batman, Booga, Wheels, they are second height, are close to securing that full high ground as Punisher. Gonna take down one. Bacon playing it out as a solo. Zukis has been eliminated. 44 players up, 24 duos. This first moving will have Storm Surge activated if more players do not start to get eliminated here, as Snacky is still clutching it out. Favs went down just before this 5th zone, but now the opponents have found him. Snacky trying to escape, trying to get out of here, trying to make what he can of what he has. 100 wood to work with, but whoa, quickly finds him. Snacky hitting the shot he needs to hit, but is it going to be enough to get him out of this situation? 74 going to go down to Storm there. Did a great job holding up, though.
That was Trey and Dom who make the surviving play. Thanks to Storm, Snacky does go down, and Epic Whale and Arkham have a chance to close the about 30-point lead. It's going to be a little bit less, but that's why I did say about. But that moment here as the zone gets a far pull. Not only is that across water, that's up elevation. These players are going to have their work cut out for them as they try to find their way. The ones that I feel safe about are the ones in the front side of zone, but while all that action is going down, there's a player that is also down in the front side of zone.
I mean, this is going to be a difficult rotate, but it's also going to be the opportunity for Arkham and Epic Whale to get back up into that first place spot, as Snacky and Favs have been eliminated. Bacon, though, in the 3rd place, coming close. Going to recycle a launch pad here, playing it as a solo. He's been doing so since the 4th zone. Surprisingly still up here with a good amount of materials, good amount of loot. Really can make it happen as Mecton takes down Nitrex. Russo in the front here, and Bacon now is going to continue out the tarp, even getting closer to the high ground.
Yeah, he knows he wants to stay away from that madness that is the low ground, the different elevations, the water, so many different terrains that he's going to have to go through. As Batman Booga gets chopped down, that's Calibuca and Solution who now take it away. Wheels trying to stay towards the front side, but he probably hears the call. We cannot contest. He's going to drop, try to reunite, but it's Pars that is in the mix, hiding his way in, trying to make that sneaky play. Salco staying on the front side, but on the side of the mountain overall, reunited with Kimchi. Reet and Rex doing a good job. Punisher and Landjock trying to use that launch pad to stay towards the front side of zone, but this is where it gets even more interesting. Max pull, even more terrain to go through.
Bacon continuing his clutch here as he secured an elimination alongside all of these placement points now. With only 22 builds, he might need to find a refresh here, recuperate some of those resources. Arkham and Epic Whale are still up. Calibuca and Solutions are on the high ground. We got Reet and Rex. We've got Batman, Booga, Wheels. All of these Titan duos still going strong as Kenzo and School with 4 eliminations are looking to get ahead of that zone.
This pulls east again after the zone. That could be a chance for them to connect and continue to maintain that high ground as Bacon looking for a refresh. 4 builds to his name. That's not the sweet spot, but he finds the Elim. He finds the prize towards the bottom, and that's Arkham, who does get dropped. So it's all up to Epic Whale to try to make way here as Favs and Snacky did go down early on, and that is their hope, the chance for them to pick up the points. But you see the elimination feed lighting up. Bacon goes down. Batman, Booga, Wheels goes down. Reet and Rex find a way front side of zone, though.
Epic Whale goes down as well. Now Reet Rex looking to get some eliminations as he takes down Mecton. Put that up to 3-5 total elims for this duo as they want more. Slowly getting ahead of zone here, getting in the front as they do have a solo close by. Will they look for that elimination? It's Decoy. Decoy almost getting fully boxed up there, but ultimately does get out as Reet continues his rotate ahead of zone.
Yeah, I talked about the chance for Arkham and Epic to boost up the leaderboard. Well, they're down. Now the chance goes on over to Reet and Rex, sitting in 4th place, but high ground Solution. Calibuca, they're trying to hold on to it. Reet fires towards the backside of zone, finds one onto Lime, threatening to go in. He knows there's so much loot, so many resources that he can use to propel himself to victory as he finds Skull out of position. Armored Wall going down, but Reet knows they cannot let this elimination escape, and the quick play, dropping Skull down. He's gonna collect it, and there's 3 duos remain.
Solution, Kalibuka still with that high ground. Punisher deciding to play the heal off, play the med mist, as now Reet, Rex, they're getting into that engagement against Kalibuka, and Solution is Punisher gonna make it in time to go for that third party, go for that nice little elimination as Rex is still up. Reet is still up now, looking for the Elim onto Kalibuka. Will they be able to make it happen? Will this match be theirs?
Yeah, it's got to be theirs in the bag, unless Kalibuka has every heal in the world, but he's still trying to find his way while med-misting in the zone with all the builds they have left. Reet, Rex trying to block off every option that they have. The damage is in, and Reet and Rex take the game and boost themselves up the leaderboard.
Securing that juicy victory royale. You know, Reet and Rex are feeling happy now. Love Punisher's play too there. Taking the med mist, playing in the zone, and letting the 2 duos battle it out.
Yep, and you can see with Arkham and Epic going down, Favs and Snacky going down even earlier. Bacon and Zooks even went down, and that was Reet and Rex's opportunity not only to take the game, but take the points and really make this leaderboard closer than ever.
I mean, I can't wait to see how it's been. Reet and Rex, Arkham and Epic Whale, Snacky and Favs. These are all duos that have been securing victory royales, bumping themselves up the leaderboard. But there's only 3 people that can let us know how it's looking. Kelly, Panda, and Clay, take it away.
Thank you so much, Jacob and Takada. And what a story of a comeback. We could see the frustration that Reet was facing, not getting a launch pad, even trying to go purchase one, which ended in his demise last game. But now the story was different. We saw in Zone 4, Rex going down a little early, Reet able to pick him up, and then it was a success, Panda.
It was a success, and it's really important to refresh that mentality when a game doesn't go your way. And that's what we saw there from Reet and Rex, which it was actually a pretty positive change, obviously. They walk away with the VR, they walk away with several eliminations, but another good point is Arkham Epic Whale, Snacky Favs, Bacon and Zooksy all went down early. So this is a huge game for them, and we're definitely going to see them at least climb into the 3rd place spot, but this could be a good setup continuing going into the rest of these games.
Man, they just played out of their mind here. Like, let's just be real. This was the Reet and Rex that we saw in day number 1, right? This is the Reet and Rex that we saw in the qualifiers. This is the Reet and Rex we want to keep seeing going forward, because there's only a couple more games left for them to pop off. Reet was looking for Elims, and who was right there behind him? It was Rex every single time. And there's a really good example of this when they go for the edit down onto this player up above with the cone. Reet does it, and Rex is right there to follow up on the elimination after.
And honestly, anytime I see Reet and Rex on the low ground, I know that it is just going to spell disaster for the rest of the teams, Panda.
It absolutely is. It's one of those kind of interesting positions for them, right? You look for high ground teams, right? Reet and Rex, obviously, they're diverse. They could play any layer, but when they're on the low ground, that's when you see them picking up several eliminations. So they know they're set up to win a game, but they're also set up for all of those elim points as well.
That is when they pop off indeed, and I cannot wait to see where they are in our leaderboard, because we saw that 1st and 2nd was so far ahead of the rest of the competition, but look at them switching once again with Bacon and Zookies. Now 297 points in 3rd place, but still Favs and Snacky having a great job with 54 eliminations and 2 VRs. That's why they're in 1st place. Of course, Arkham and Epic Whale are close behind. It's only, what, a 24-point difference?
Yeah, it's 24 points, but also because the first 2 went down, it's now about a 60-point game. That's well achievable within the current point system. You just need 10, 11 elims in the victory royale. So while it was 1 and 2 early on, like last game, now 3 and 4 have made their way on up into contention for this 1st place spot.
Yeah, that's totally right. And you can see how close the rest of the competition is from 6 and below. And I actually want to take a look at one of the teams that is out of our top 10, and that's Caleb and Solution, the team that grabbed 2nd place there, doing a great job from high ground, Clay.
They really did, and they played such a great game. Fortunately, what happened to them is they ran out of materials pretty early. You see 10 builds here for Caleb. As they do get some eliminations, they take down Lime here, I believe, and you see him up above doing well, but see, when you get sprayed out like that and you have nothing to build, it gets hectic trying to control high ground. And while they could have used the zipline up there, they didn't really have the option to. They had to try to go for these elims. So grab an elim, but it doesn't matter when you can't get any of the loot.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's when the harpoon comes in handy. My man Clay knows all about that. But realistically, that's kind of one of those inventory favorites for a duo. You need to find one slot amongst the 10 that you have within your duo to fill that with that, so you can get those refreshes, or unfortunately, you're going to go down despite even having a great position.
So, great positions, obviously, in our first and second spot right now. Let's actually take a quick look at our 11th through 20th place. Batman, Booga, and Wheels jumping up to 12th place, Panda.
Yeah, look, they were 10th going into this game, so they dropped a few spots, but still in contention, in my opinion, for a top 5 finish. Now, what they really need to do is they need to focus on getting some more elims. They're a very passive team. You see 24 elims is not a lot here as far as the team goes up into this point. So they're going to need to get some more elims, and they need to be a little bit more focused in those final moments of the game.
So are they grabbing those eliminations in the early game, maybe potentially going to not to a different drop spot, but a different rotation to fight other teams? Or are they going to wait for the late game?
You know, that's the famous question, right? I think Batman, Booga, and Wheels are very good at getting mid-game eliminations. So I'm going to say I would like to see a few more mid-game eliminations for them. But obviously, the end game is where the eliminations come to you. So you need to be making sure that you're playing that as well. Clay mentioned it earlier. If you get ahead of zone and you start looking backwards, it's really easy to pick up some of these teams as they rotate.
And what we saw in that last game is that our top 2 teams still can go down early, and they clearly don't want to do that with 2 more games remaining. So Clay, Arkham Epic Whale, Fabs, and Snacky, what do they have to do in these next few games? Clearly, they don't need to go on the aggressive, but are we going to see them kind of change to a more passive playstyle?
So for Fabs and Snacky, no, they're not going to change to one. They need to enter tournament management mode, as we call it, because got 2 more games left. You can't go down like that early, because then Arkham Epic Whale are going to. But Faz and Snacky find their surge on aggression. You can't go back to passive when the only way you've been getting surge throughout the entire day is by being aggressive, because then you have no surge plan. For Arkham and Epic Whale, I want to see some passivity there, but I also want to see that late game high ground take come for them, because we know they can do it.
Is it going to be passive? Is it going to be aggressive? Or is it going to be some kind of blend of both? Well, you guys know who has the answers. It's our casters, Jacob
What up,
and
what up, what up?
You heard them talk about it, Takata. I feel like I'm getting sad here. 2 games left. It came and went in the blink of an eye. Just like those opportunities, these opportunities are going right out the window. They better make some plays before it's too late.
I mean, I think the players are realizing it themselves, right? I mean, you got the first game down, second game down, halfway through the tournament, but now with just 2 matches
what's up, man?
left.
What's up?
And there's no day 3. There's the last day of finals.
Same here,
12
same here.
matches to be played out now. Getting into the 11th match.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
you
me
know
too,
with the
man.
nerves for these players.
We're
they're going
busy.
up.
We cooked
Yeah,
steaks
it's looking like
today,
a
and
two-head
dude, it's
race
not
in
a,
terms
it's
of
not.
Fabs
It
and
sounds like
Snacky.
a tough deal,
Arkham
but
and
it's or
Epic.
not tough.
But as
But
we've seen throughout
just
the past
preparing
2,
for it, getting it all
one bad
done,
moment,
getting the
going
holes
down
going,
early
all
could be
that is
disastrous, because there's
hot
so
as hell
many
outside.
teams waiting in the wings for that opportunity to strike and take away not only the placement, but the thousands of dollars that are on the line.
I mean, that's why I wouldn't be surprised if some of these duos start changing up
Right.
their drops, but we don't have to wait too long.
That's
the
here.
battle bus is
That's
ready. So
same
let's
here.
see, Jacob, what these
I'm actually,
duos
I just wanted, if you're, are you
doing,
going to
how
watch
they're
these next few
adapting
games?
to their mistakes and maybe even to the changes
Oh,
that their
nice,
opponents
nice.
have done.
I just need
in
like
these
5
matches.
minutes and I'll be right back.
Adapting is going to be the name of the game as the final 2. Game number 11, game number 12. And honestly, I think I'm going to miss it. I want to add number 6 games maybe at the end. Can we go 18 overall? We don't need to add a 3rd day. Just 6 more games at the end is my wish here, because that's how intense, that's how exciting it has been. This Flameback, Ghosty, Daily Bugle against Dragon and Elige sitting in 10th place. And for them, the destiny, the thousands of dollars that we're talking about is on the line. It's Ghosty taking some shots from the high ground. He barely escapes in the building to live for now.
Just one more shot is what Elige needed there to get the knock, get the player advantage. But loving the drop here from Dragon and Elige. They kind of secure 2 of the highest elevated positions on the drop spot. It gives them a quick chance at getting a quick elimination. But back to the engagement we've seen almost every game. Jacob, it's Rexy, it's Dynamic. And for Dynamic and Rexy, it's not looking too hot, as one of them has been taken out. All up to Rexy now, just 1 shot away from being eliminated. Will these bushes be able to cover him?
Yeah, you see them blindly trying to spray in those bushes. There's only so many places he can go as Rexy doing the best that he can, bob and weave and in and out of these bushes, even finding that med miss. But Vex hot on their tail. Redemption at its finest, the way this one was going. 39th place for them. It's about getting even more money in your pockets, more experience underneath their belt, because these guys, first-time finalists. And for them, this is a huge learning lesson for next season.
It's all about learning, Jacob. Learning and adapting. As we take a look here, back at the Collider with Snacking Favs as we're laying Source. Close by, I mean, really grants a lot of opportunity for these players to kind of take shots when they're in the same POI like this, looting up, farming. If you just take some quick picks, make sure you're aware of your surroundings, just like Snacky's doing here. You might be able to find that sneaky little angle onto one of your opponents.
Talk about opponents. 3 teams total, including Fabs and Snacky landing there. A complete and polar opposite than what we're seeing here towards Greasy Grove, where it's been uncontested throughout the entirety of the finals. Not 1, but 2 different days. That's allowing them to kind of mix together that perfect recipe, picking and choosing what they want to do, where they want to go. Because even though this is one of those positions to where if you pull zone, max pull, it's going to be hard for you to get surge. But the only vehicle, the Whiplash, they're going to be able to make that quick rotation, and already the first zone reveals itself. Just like last game, they're not going to have to travel far because they're in the center of the zone.
First zone, once again, pulling to the southwest side of the map. Close to where Rex and Reet are. Looking at the Elim feed, though, looks like there's been an engagement in the Collider. Those Favs, Wale, they've been getting into some action.
It was like a triple threat engagement here with Compalomp even taking a piece here with Seer as Favs and Snacky. They know a knock is on one of these players. They're just trying to break through, and they can almost see where it is because of the armored wall. Wale's position is going to be given up. He has to go ahead and abandon his teammate, and back to the lobby he goes. But the team in first place, once again, they want to cement them legacy. They want to go back to back to back in terms of FNCS champions.
From the last trio FNCS championship to the last duo FNCS, will they be able to secure the third one? Favs and Snacky, they're looking like they're feeling good. They're en route to taking home that crown, but taking home that axe of champions, as now in the 11th game, just 2 more, including this one, to close the day out. Bacon and Zuki's 4th place spot, been playing so well, and slowly but surely have been going up in the leaderboard, now in 4th place. As we go back to this engagement we saw earlier at the beginning of the match, Dragon and the Leech had the drop, but they have not played aggressive so far, as both duos now have looted up.
And as you saw moments ago on Arkham Epic screen, you know exactly where the zone is going to be, just outside Tilted Towers. So a long journey for some of these teams is Foxity, North, Benji, Fishy already making their rotation from that height position that we saw throughout the last game, trying to catch these players off guard. That's something that we've seen with a little bit more success this time around, at least visually on screen. Players, they're not expecting the bushes to attack, and that's been a theme with multiple players going down. North, Benji, Fishy finding some shots to add to his total for Surge, which has actually been a great part of their game plan overall.
I mean, bushes are dangerous, Jacob. I'm telling you, in the tournaments, you see a bush, you gotta be careful, okay? You never know what's inside of that bush. It even could be a Reet, could be a Snacky, could be a Favs, could be even just a squirrel. But taking a look here at Reet, as he's going for an aggressive play. It's in his drop spot at the Greasy Grove. They've taken down Amp, and now looking to see if they can take down July as well.
Yep, already knows he's there, going for the Siphon. Due to him wanting even more resources, he wants to get in that tip-top shape, 200 effective shields and HP, but he left Rex towards the high ground. This is the only opportunity with separation, as July is trying to take advantage of it. You see him continuously trying to build up, but Rex knows he does not have to do it as a solo. Immediately backtracks, builds that wall wide, reunites with Reet because they know 2 is better than 1, but the piece control is going to go in, and just like that, in the blink of an eye, they 2 add to their total in terms of elimination and Storm Surge damage this game.
Rex crossing out July from his calendar this year as he takes them out, getting that elimination. Looking back over at Aiden, though, in the 29th spot here, 100 points to work with, seeing if he can make it happen for his duo, as he just needs to win this 1 versus 1. Can't allow his opponent to pick up his teammate, get the revive, as Aiden quickly secures the loot, possibly even his reboot card for his duo partner. And now he doesn't have to take the engagement if he wants to disengage, but if he wants to take the battle, he's got to go quickly, and he knows that.
Yeah. Probably knows that it's coming through. That's going to be Fortnite player taking a little bit more damage, but it's Aiden T who goes down. And now Scissors can go ahead and reunite, try to get the reboot, but just like that, the blink of an eye, the third party comes in. That's B-Dog. That's cheaters that are trying to take advantage because this is sweet elimination points, builds, resources, siphon, exactly everything that they need to make it to the end game. And sitting in 30th place, depending on where the points are at, that's thousands of more dollars deep into their pockets.
3, 2, 1. Sizer gets the revive onto his duo partner, but it's a dangerous position. Cheaters, B-Dog, they have a good amount of effective HP, and also they're hungry for some eliminations, as now Fortnite player has to quickly pop all the shield he can, but it might just not even be an issue as Cheaters gets annihilated, knocked down. Now B-Dog playing as a solo from the 2 versus 2 to the 2 versus 1 to Sai. Razor there just taking both of them out. 4 quick eliminations.
Man, just when you think you see a fight that just ends, let me quickly rotate in, try to third party. Easy eliminations, right? Nope. Absolutely wrong. They bit off more than they could chew. They go down very, very early on, and for them, it comes down to one final game. That last final moment, game number 12, to where that's the only chance they have to move up the leaderboards even more. But physics going down. That's Raze who's picking up that elimination. He, too, is trying to make the game of his life happen. But first place, second place going to be in the bottom half of your screens. On1 and Evo doing good, but sitting in 6th place. Still more to go.
Still more to go. Still more to happen here. As Arkham at the bottom left, but Snacky and Faz as well on the bottom right, actually taking shots in the tilted towers. Has to be careful here, as getting eliminated so early in the match is incredibly dangerous, especially for a top tier team in the first place spot. Right now, you do not want to lose that position. I mean, these are the 3 Titans right now we've been seeing throughout the day. Rex Reet, Epic Grail Arkham, Snacky Favs, all of them doing their path, looting up as Arkham and Epic Whale get a nice initial engagement onto North Benji Fishy there. Faxity now realizing his teammate's in danger, needs to help him quickly, but it might just be too late as he already has Arkham and Epic Whale hunting.
And you can see in the minimap so many players turning their attention. They realize this is a chance for either to steal away the eliminations or get more surge to our total. And that's where Arkham and Epic taking too much damage. They're going to slow down here, reassess the situation because they're also outside of zone. And that was Jesus and Chicken that were going ahead and putting that third-party damage down, making sure nothing comes easy. It's going to be a fight that you really have to put your all to. And you can see that's making everybody pause here and rethink that decision about what we want to do. Are these eliminations worth it? And for now, it doesn't look like it is going to be.
I mean, zones are so important, and when you're in an engagement that at the same time a new zone appears, really might just change your decision of continuing it. Play it slow, play it safe, play for the rotate. Don't try and finish off that engagement if you don't have the clear advantage to end it quickly, as North Benji Fishy and Faxity are going to be doing exactly that as we start to rotate here. Farming up a bit on the way, but so many duos close by, they're gonna have to think this one through.
Yeah, you can see probably a lot of teams also flirting with the idea, do I get that launch pad towards Butterbarn? Is it worth it? Do I have enough gold? So many questions yet to be answered that we'll probably find out later in the game. But the one team in first place by a wide margin, almost 30 points. It's going to have to go down for anybody really to have a chance, but you see Snacky is in first place in total eliminations, day 1 and 2 combined, with 29 overall. That goes to show he is a real driving force for his team's success, but they play their roles absolutely perfect because you see as they have the high ground later in the game, Favs knows, I just put the pressure, I out heal, and Snacky would do the rest.
I mean, and that's something I don't see from a lot of duos, right? Where you get one player like Fav staying on the high ground, but Snacky, I mean, almost always goes for the extra aggression while on the high ground in these late games, and that could be a key to their success. I mean, when they get these big games, they have so many eliminations alongside it. And it being 3 points per elimination, it really just bumps them up that much more in the leaderboard that, I mean, Snacky, with that confidence mechanically has from the aggression, even having the advantageous position on the high ground, it's really just a nice way to play it out. As we have Angel here looking for tags, Reet farming up. Storm Surge does appear, so we'll see which players are below, which players will have to do some damage, and which ones are feeling pretty good, which is kind of where Landjock and Punisher are right now, being 243 above.
Yep, I do believe, I could be wrong, 7th place currently sits at about 10 $5,000 deep into your pocket. That is a ton of cash. But for these World Cup competitors, they know it's not about the money. It's about the bragging rights. It's about kind of proving that you can do it. Because if you're a duo that's been around as long as this, some may think maybe they don't got it. Maybe they might have fallen off. But I think one thing for sure, this FNCS season has taught us that Punisher and Landjock will never go down without a fight. As long as they're given the chance, they will remain in the hunt.
From getting a good place in last duo FNCS to now being back in the finals, 7th place spot in game 11, having the shot to do it all again. It's just a matter of time as we switch over to Bacon and Zuki's back in the Tilted Towers, where even Snacky and Favs are getting close to an engagement here on the rotate. 157 above, don't have to do damage, but have to get that rotate in, and the issue is, you can see at the bottom right on the minimap, there's so many duos kind of on the edge of that zone, even some of them on the hilltop. So they're gonna have to kind of keep an eye out for the right way to get into the zone.
Keep an eye out. You see Bacon almost getting taken an eye out by the shots coming in on the distance. But instead of staggering himself, pausing to heal, he's waiting till he goes actually inside the building of Tilted, where there's a lot more cover, a lot more safety all around. He's letting his teammate Zuki's really lead the charge and find that position that they want. And you see them try to get out of Tilted. They know how dangerous it is going to be once this elevation comes, and Storm continues to push him out. But towards the bottom, Epic Will, Arkham sitting in the bush. That's something we've seen throughout numerous games, looking for that Storm Surge tags, 248 above. And that's going to put them in a great spot. But right now, that is going to be a far rotation north. They're going to have to go above Greasy Grove in order to find themselves in zone.
Epic Will and Arkham, I mean, could this be the key to their success? We've seen it, just like you said, in so many matches. The bush strat, the play of staying hidden and waiting for the perfect moment to strike onto your opponent, as they're kind of keeping an eye out for Chicken and Jesus there, who are in an all-wood box, kind of healing up, shielding up, and continuing to rotate.
I like the patience, though, not giving away their position too early. In fact, they're not going to give it up at all. They know if they continue to hide their location, they can go ahead and rotate towards the slower side of zone, give them the best chance, because like I said, the zone's going to pull above Greasy Grove. Still a few teams having to rotate in, but Kinzo and School trying to find the shots. Even though they're already 191 above, you see them instantly go to 257. Staying proactive is going to be the key. As you see Trey, he's going to get dropped for now. It's all up to his teammate to try to make the play, but in the distance, Kinzo finds the shot accurate as can be, as Caesar's going to go down. It's going to be up to Nitrix, and with that distance, I believe in Nitrix to be able to get that revive off.
Kenzo continuing to take those shots, seeing if he can finish that elimination. You can see the strikes from the sky coming down onto their opponents, striking them bit by bit. The sparks coming out as Kenzo and School keep applying that pressure, keep raining down on their opponents. But with 73 players alive, 37 duos, this match is just as strong as the first one regarding Storm Surge, Jacob.
Yeah, it goes to show that it's not all about, like I said, that W, depending on where you're at in the leaderboard. It's about the money at the end of the day for some, the bragging rights for others, and for that first place, it's about the acts of champions that you could claim, as Russo and Keto still having a phenomenal second half to the tournament. And it started yesterday in the second half of the day, moving up from 33rd place into the top 10 and continuing that journey into the top 6, 336 above the damage threshold. It's not all about those eliminations. As you see, they're squeaking their way through, finding the shots in the distance, and that has been their plan from game number 1 all the way here to game number 11.
Bacon and Zuki's in an interesting position here, kind of mountain goating, as I like to call it. Not at the top of the mountain, not at the bottom, at the middle there, where you have a lot of options on what you want to do. You're not that priority duo with the best position, but you still can recycle a pad if you need to, and look down below for tags as they actually take down a Crow, gifting them an epic shotgun. But the good thing is that Bacon already has a legendary one ready to make it or put it to good use, as we're going to see the 4th zone here appear in just a second now.
Yeah, you see a stack zone on the east side, even with a player down that looked like might have gotten cleaned up just moments ago, or maybe even revive, but that's going to be Foxity who drops. He's actually going to get cleaned up by Dom, who might be here as a solo, as you saw Trey get dropped very, very early on. Backity, Prism, Kinzo, Skull, Favs, Snacky, Pars, Rays. So many strong duos remaining hip to hip because they know as soon as you create too much distance between you and your teammate, that's all it takes. That's that one opportunity a team is waiting for to start to get aggressive, especially if they're lower on the leaderboard and they need it. But Snack and Favs, they know they're not low on the leaderboard. They're just creating height, creating distance, and picking up these opportunities as they go on.
Taking a look at the replay, though, from North Benchivishi and Faxfity, having 2 eliminations, but having to rotate into the zone here, especially without shields, it can be difficult, as Faxfity went down, and then North Benchivishi did as well shortly after. But seeing a duo that's still up and going, it's Arkham Epic Whale. They don't have eliminations, but they have the damage, and what they have to do now is to rotate, as Landjuck and Punisher are close by, actually kind of making a path for them that they might be able to recycle.
See, they don't get the zone. Because of them peeking in and out of those cones, getting the information, they know this is the less traveled spot. If they go now, they won't become a target, or at least not hot of a target as they have been moments ago, or at least games ago where they did go down early. But Reet and Rex, they got that launch pad. They got a good rotate, not far from where they initially landed, but what they don't have right now is the storm surge damage. You see them 48 below. They fall continuously, 83, 88, 97. The lobby is being proactive right now, and Reet and Rex got to follow suit, but there's no shots, no opportunities given. Jesus and Chicken on one side, not peeking. Landjock and Punisher, you saw them far above the damage threshold, not peeking, but it's Arkham and Epic trying to go box to box, piece to piece, taking away that control and threatening the game of Punisher and Landjock.
But Landjock might have to stay up here, as Arkham and Epic aren't the only ones that need the storm surge damage. As Reet and Rex, 97 below, they're going to start the aggression here onto Landjock and Punisher. Will they be able to get into the box? Will they be able to make something happen? It's really what they have to do here, is there's not any other duos close by. Just Landjock, Punisher, just Arkham, Epic Whale. And the issue is, there's 2 of them. They're going for an aggressive play against 2 duos almost. I mean, so many angles that they can get shots from, but also where they can take shots as Arkham continues to spray above, trying to find that angle needed to do the damage. To go above, 96 below. Just 1 shot, but you gotta be careful. Rex and Reet, they're right beside them, and they're hungry.
And it's not going to be an easy one to out-heal, especially since they don't have a ton. That's why they're continuously trying to go in and put the pressure. But another team that's below the damage threshold, that's Reet and Rex just on the other side of that wall. And you got to imagine Punisher, Landjock, the experts, one of their oldest duos, taking a little bit of high ground to separate themselves from this mess. They know they don't need to be involved. Arkham continuously falling below threshold, and it's the storm surge damage that's finally going to do him in. He's going to get dropped, and there goes another early exit from the multi-time champions.
The 2 Titans battling it out, Rex and Reet against Arkham and Epic Whale. I mean, those are some huge eliminations. I feel like it's worth more than just 3 points to them. It could even be worth that position on the leaderboard as we look over at Bacon, who's also having issues with Storm Surge alongside his duo partner Zuki. 66 below, but the issue is, how much shields do they have? How many can they afford to lose in this zone as opponents getting into the action? But such a nice shot from Bacon, knocking down Thoric, eating up his meat so he can secure just a bit more time in the zone to continue to rotate and hopefully get his Siphon here, which will grant him just a bit more HP.
Perfect time for the heals, perfect time for the Siphon. The 3 HP, no mini or no HP heals to his name. It's all minis all the way, so there's only so much HP and shields he's gonna be able to recover. As you see Snacky under siege, he's gonna get dropped. Favs the same, so there it goes. Arkham and Epic Whales, greatest hope right there with first place going down, but that gives the opportunity for Reet and Rex and that gap to diminish here. But I feel like they need to go back to back to make that a huge possibility.
What is going to happen now, Jacob? The first place team's down, the second place team is down, and now the third place team has a huge opportunity to make the comeback, but there's also so many duos that are close in the top 10, even in the top 15 here, that can make something happen. As we're looking at Bacon and Zuki's applying pressure onto Solution that might even be playing out as a solo, but I believe his duo is down below, which is why he dropped. We can group up with him and now continue to rotate for the first moving zone. It's 6 zone, and it started closing.
Yep, this is where a lot of those placement points are going to begin to start ticking in. Babs snacking, like I said, the first place team, second place team dropping just below, but Jaden, Victor V back to the lobby. Russo is going to follow them close after. And it's going to be a great chance for Bacon and Zuki to kind of close that gap. This is going to be a big opportunity as Chicken and Mekton making their way front side of zone. Reet and Rex staggering themselves back, making sure nobody sneaks up right behind them to try to steal the high ground, but an early launch pad team, they're going to go and take it away in the distance.
Rex now going to recycle that launch pad that Reet just placed. Great job with the 4 eliminations already, looking to see if they can get ahead of zone. As Zuki's and Bacon have the high ground, they're going to keep tarping out, get ahead of the zone here, but only 27 above Storm Surge now, boosting it up to 41. The good thing is they have the angles, they have the opportunities to get the damages. Down below, Angel Nigel are looking for some action, but Rex and Reet, they're still up and going. The top 3 team now, without that first and second place duo to contest them in this match. They really have to make the most of this opportunity.
Looks like that elimination fee getting just as active as Storm Surge here in the present. But it's going to be activate in that moment that final player does go down, and it deactivates at 30. And this is where Bacon and Zooks have a chance to hold on to the high ground. Reet and Rex are trying to make the play, but damage is going to be traded off on both sides. Bacon and Rex is going to get dropped down low, but Reet knows he has to finish it off. But another shot is going to be landed. Reet has his work cut out for him, but he found a necessary down and knock onto Bacon. So high ground is now theirs. It's the moment to stabilize that Reet needs, but Rex is down low, and he's going through it right now. But the Siphon finally going to come through. The HP is going to be Siphon, but Batman, Booga, and Wheels just one layer below. School and Kinzo just one layer below, and all they need is that opportunity as Zuki's fires the shots, but it's not going to be enough.
Reet securing that elimination, actually going to give him the Siphon to almost be at 200 effective HP. Rex as well now had the time to heal up, get to that required HP to keep going, keep rotating, keep tarping as they have the high ground, they have the positional advantage. And just down below, it's Solutions. It's his duo partner playing close to that high ground, but looks like nobody even wants to contest it at this point. They want to conserve those materials. Bars and Rays on the low ground. We have Dragon. The engagements are beginning. Solutions getting cracked. Kalibuka getting knocked. And now is the high ground team going to be able to close it out?
I'm not going to say I called it, but I said something about back-to-back, and already you see second place snatched away from Arkham and Epic as they maintain the high ground. They're connecting, looking backside of zone. FJAA under siege. He has a worry as he finds a way, barely escaping that elimination as Reet and Rex are commanding so much attention, so much pressure from the lobby as they're dropping down the shots from above.
Evol with one elimination on one with just the same. Currently in the 6th place spot, looking to see if they can make it into the top 5 as Angel going against Slick Nick, but Pars and Rays, they're close by. Seeing if Reet can secure these extra eliminations from above, just applying all the pressure possible. It's Dragon who's trying to play it as a solo creep. Close by, doing the same. Angel up. There's 6 duos and there's 9 players.
Angel living on a prayer right now, sitting in the top 8. These are necessary points. 6th place right now. Evo on one. Necessary points, but Pars and Rays, they go in. Shots are going to be fired off. That's going to force him to backtrack, but he does have the zone on his side. It's the build that he lacks, but with eliminations like that, Siphons to be picked up, this is their chance to pick up those points.
Evo now looks to see if he can clutch up these last placements as he gets an opponent right in his face, but he quickly takes him out. It's Creep who gets eliminated. Now Evol going back into the zone. There's 2 solos in the zone. It's Evol, it's Dragon trying to survive as long as possible to secure those last little placement points, but the only duo that is up is Rex and Reet. Are they going to be able to get the back-to-back victory royale as Dragon goes for the engagement, gets the elimination onto Evol? Now it's just up to Reet and Rex to play it slow, play it out, secure that last elimination to Dragon, and get the victory royale, and that's exactly what they end up doing.
And they already move up placements before the game even ended. They go back-to-back in victory royales. They're cementing themselves as one of the top teams in the game right now. Is it enough to claim that first place spot? Because even though Faz the Stack, he went down a little bit earlier than a lot of us hoped, they had such a lead that they might have the cushion to maintain it.
Rex and Reet really carrying their momentum forward from the last match, securing the double victory royale, boosting themselves up the leaderboard. Not sure where they ended. I didn't catch it. So now there's these 3 tied-in duos kind of head-to-head at the top. We have Arkham Epic Whale. We have Snacky Faz. We have Rex Reet. I'm not even sure how it's looking.
Yep, all these duos makes me wonder What about the trio we have as analysts? I want to hear them break it down because there's only one game left.
And that is exactly what we're going to be doing. Thank you once again, Jacob and Takada. And my goodness, what a journey in just that game we saw from Reet and Rex, being below Storm Surge, grabbing the eliminations on Arkham and Epic Whale, taking height away, and then just grabbing the back-to-back VR, Clay.
Yeah, like I said, this is the Reet and Rex we wanted to see. Finally, they're putting on a show for everyone, showing that, yes, they were hyped for a reason. They won Qualifier 1 for a reason. And this is why, even though Rex is 35 HP, doesn't matter. Reet is right there to back him up, and Reet's still taking the shots. 52 HP. That was a make or break moment because that gave them high ground.
It really did, and we have to talk about the top three here for a moment. Rex, Reet, Arkham, Epic Whale, Snacky Favs, all three are just a few points apart from one another going into the final game, meaning that this is going to be such an impactful moment here going into game number 12. This is so close, and Rex and Reet being able to close that gap here in game 11 was the major factor into what we will hopefully see being the most iconic game 12 in NA West history.
And that's what you want to see, right? You want to see it get this close, but this is it. It's the last ditch effort, Clay. I mean, there's only one more game for these top three teams, literally the most decorated teams, and not just the most decorated teams, but the two trios that then split up and formed these three teams. I mean, I don't think any other region has a story like this.
No, they don't, right?
Nope.
NA West has got some amazing storylines. You've been there to watch it there unfold with us, and I'm very excited. Like, I was coming out here feeling hype because they have one more game. And let's take a look at the leaderboard. It's so close. This is within a victory royale for Arkham Epic Whale, even though they are about 30 points behind there, you know? Okay. It's still everyone's game.
Well, not everyone's game, but the top three and maybe Bacon and Zeus can break into second or third place right now. But Favs and Snacky just showcasing with those 58 eliminations how volatile they are. We saw them grab 16 eliminations during the during the qualifiers. 372 points right now, still ahead of the game. Rex and Reet moving up into second place, taking that away from Arkham and Epic Whale, and to see them take down Arkham and Epic Whale, I'm getting excited. I feel like I'm losing my breath right now, Panda.
Look, if Snacky Favs go down early in this game, it is the Rex and Reet show, and they can easily overtake the top spot. So it's so close here in these final moments. It's honestly anybody's game at this point, but when you have a team like Snacky and Favs and how talented they are, it's going to be very, very tough for them to try and lose it, right? Because they would absolutely have to try to not take first place with the skill level that we know this team has.
And they went down early, but early to them is still zone 5. That is still giving them the placement points. They're still getting eliminations even when they have their worst performance of the weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, and I want to point out again, let's stress how close this is, right? Arkham and Epic Whale, 36 points away. That is a victory royale with 2 elims to take first, right? So if anybody in this top 3 goes down right now, it is gonna change the way we see this leaderboard at the very end because it is that close.
And I do want to talk about some of the other teams that are in the top 3. Evil and On One doing a great job jumping up 2 spots in that last game right there. And obviously they were able to grab the VR earlier on yesterday. But let's watch some of the highlights from that last game.
Yeah, they played really well. They're playing like a duo should, and it's great to see their improvement through the season into now because, right, even if you're not able to get in that first place spot, it's all about improvement because we know that Fortnite keeps going. You still got to keep playing. We know that they, as a duo, are working well together, so I hope next season they stay together and they can improve upon some of these things.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those bubble teams that we got to talk about. There are so many players that are still in contention for big money here in the top 10 of the leaderboard, but it comes down to this, the final game, the final moment for these teams to clutch up and make something happen. I know behind the scenes, Jacob Tokata are excited to catch this final game just as we are excited to talk about these final moments. But Kelly, are you pumped? This is it.
Dude, I mean, my pick, Reet and Rex, I'm so glad that I stuck with them. Clearly coming out of the gate in qualifier 1, taking that first place spot, being so dominant over the rest of the competition. But of course, you have to look to Favs and Snacky, the reigning champs, not just from the most recent duos, but the most recent trios as well. But you can't ignore Arkham and Epic Whale. They're the 6X looking to become the 7X.
You can't ignore anybody in the top 3, Kelly. And going into the final game, that we couldn't ask for a better storyline.
It's the final game, everyone. One more chance, one more opportunity for our duos to claim their spot at the top and hold the Axe of Champions. Who will it be? Well, our 2 commentators are about to find out.
Kelly, Panda, and Clay really breaking it down perfectly. Jacob showcasing the importance of this 12th match, this last match, not of the day, but of the finals of FNCS for the NA West region. Jacob, there are 3 teams, and if any of them go down early, it is going to be incredibly dangerous for them.
Yeah, you heard Panda. Excited, ecstatic, full of energy to cast the final moments and crown a champion on NA West. And there's so many teams, so many incredibly talented players that have a shot here to take it. And that shot is going to come right now because you hear the battle bus is ready. Game number 12, the last chance for these duos.
The last chance to see what you're made of, what you can do, and what position you can end on here. We can see the bus is starting off close to the command cavern, which is good for duos like Batman, Muga, Wheels, like Pars and Raze, and like the opponents which are around this area as Wheels. Looking for some early tags with the burst assault rifle. Lands 1, but it's not enough for a knock. You can see how quickly they begin their loot path, begin rotating, and begin kind of just doing everything they have to do, checking off the checklist.
Early damage, if I got it. Check. Reunite. Continue, because right now Batman, Booga, and Wheels, their path is and contains a lot of slurp barrels that they do utilize, but Favs and Snacky currently under siege. They're immediately going to try to rotate out, but that's something that they've been doing this entire time, trying to put the shots on some teams in the distance, and immediately as they don't find exactly what they want, they keep it moving, keep it going, because they know time is of the essence.
Favs feeling good with that one elimination quickly. Keep farming up, keep matting up. Also even saw Dragon in the feed get an elimination. We saw that battle in the Daily Bugle last match, as now Favs is actually gonna maybe look for a flank here onto one of the opponents, but they're gone quickly, jumping into the cannon. But are they really gone? As Favs gets nice tags onto him, but it's not gonna be enough to get that elimination. It was close, but unable to finally secure it.
Mutant Rex close on their heels. Arkham and Epic not too far behind. All it takes is one bad moment. These top 3 teams can go down. It could be anybody's game here. As you see the game plan, feeling of deja vu. You've seen this before. They don't stray too far off away from their path. They have it down packed, and look at launch pad after launch pad for them to go ahead and use to try to make their way towards end game. We saw a couple games ago today alone, it was Snacky that possessed 4 of those launch pads, which kind of made it to where they didn't have to traverse through that end game, moving zone to moving zone. But Arkham and Epic, 3rd place. You heard Clay, about 32 or so points are going to be needed. I think it was about 36 actually. That is more than just the victory royale, and for them, they're in the pressure cooker.
They're in the pressure, but also, I mean, you can see with 90 players up, this last game tends to get a bit more aggressive, so we might see more of these early to mid-game engagements, but Rex and Reet are the first NA West duo since Chapter 2 Season 8 Finals to win consecutive games. I mean, that just shows how impressive their performance has been on day 2 here and how much of a possibility they have to take that #1 spot.
Yep. Talk about possibilities of taking the #1 spot. Bacon and Zeus. Even though when you watch them play, it's not that high-flying, entertaining, elim after elim style of play, but it's just as good. It goes to show that you can really hone in your play style and be exactly who you need or destined to be in a lot of these situations. You can still take a top spot. You can still threaten a lot of these superstar teams in the region. As Seer, Compalomp switching up their drop spots just a little bit, going away from the Collider. They want to have a better chance to pick up the points and pick up more dollars, but it's Aiden and Moose that they're going up against. 33rd place. They're trying to get aggressive, take away the pieces. They have enough builds to replace them, but the angle comes in from the side. Both Compalomp and Seer take a ton of damage. You add in the fact that one of them is going to get knocked, opening up a 2v1 opportunity, but the distance, the third party also making a play and playing a role. It's for Compalomp's demise as he's back to the lobby. 43rd place it is.
Moose and Aiden doing a great job there of securing those eliminations in a timely manner before the third party gets close enough to be a big danger. I did see that there was a duo close by, so really just it's up to them on deciding if they want to take it or not. But if I'm not mistaken, Jacob, Arkham right now just in first zone with 35 seconds left even until it closes, has 2 launch pads. I mean, the mobility for this duo, Jacob, they're feeling good.
Who needs zone? Who needs zone when you have 4 launch pads at your drop spot? But that's the blessing of getting an uncontested drop spot. And you know how you get an uncontested drop spot? You be multi-time champions. You go ahead and intimidate and you take out every other player that even threatens and thinks about landing there, as they earned it through and through, season after season, as North Benji Fishy, 33 Fox City, staying close to their game plan, not switching it up like some of these other teams, trying to possess the height and put the damage onto 3 different teams that could possibly land towards Chonkers. And talk about damage, at least 3 different bursts going to shred that shield away.
And I mean, it works. You can see Fax, but he's just connecting his shots from the high ground. I mean, you know that positioning has been so beneficial throughout this whole tournament. As now Reet also with 2 launch pads here. I mean, the mobility, I don't know if it's something about it being the last match and they wanting us to see one of the most intense games of Fortnite we've ever seen. But with all these top teams getting secured for the late game, having the mobility, having the loot, but be careful, as Favs actually got cracked here. Had that initial elimination we saw at the beginning of the match, but I'm wondering what happened here for him to lose his shield.
This is actually amazing. Everybody is getting a launch pad off of this game. There's no excuses going to be left for these teams to use. I didn't get rotation. I didn't get this. I didn't get that. Well, guess what? Now you got everything that you need. Some more than others. As you see the total of 4 here towards Snack and Favs. It is going to be 1. But that's why you see them boxing up towards this launch pad. As soon as Kinzo in school does not go over towards this side, towards the cannon, which they've been going all game long, it immediately goes to somebody else. That goes to show how important securing a rotational item is.
Zuki's Bacon continuing to show the consistency here, not playing too aggressive in the early game, continuing the route, rotating, looting up, farming up, and getting ready for what's next. Still a lot of time to work with, as there's 2 minutes and 15 seconds until this first zone closes. As we look back at Arkham and Epic Whale, kind of splitting up the launch pads, making sure both players have a decent amount, as now they continue to rotate, but they find a player close by. It's actually going to be Moose. Where is your duo, Moose? Aiden looking to be a bit further away, so could have caught him off guard, but they know they have to focus on the rotate here. It's not about getting those eliminations in the early game. It's about setting yourself up for the late game. As just like Panda said, that is where you can get a majority of your eliminations.
Yep, sacrificing a lot of that taxi to go ahead and take the damage so they can reuse a lot of these builds, save the heals, and even landed a shot in there for that Storm Surge. But I know that's not going to be enough, especially with an uncontested drop. Just like over here, Reet and Rex, the Storm Surge is going to be the worry, but after winning back-to-back games, you got to imagine they have their plan set out. One of the only cars on the map here in the form of a Whiplash. You see the taxi, everything being utilized to its fullest. But that's been the game plan for Reet and Rex all weekend long. You farm up, you take it slow and steady, because rotation is not a worry whether you have the launch pads or not. Getting that Whiplash, playing towards the slow side of zone has been their game plan.
And Eval and On1's game plan has been showing that confidence, which is something that we've been seeing from them all throughout day 1 and day 2 here, as they continue to rotate through their acclaimed drop spot here, having a good amount of loot to live up to their names, as Jonker Speedway seems to not have too much action in it this start of the match. We know how contested it's been throughout the tournament, having 3 duos drop there, but just as I speak, we're gonna check a replay here, seeing what Batman Booga and Wheels did.
Wow, Shark actually got revived back into the game, so Batman Booga able to pick up that elimination, getting the siphon, setting themselves up. Talk about needing an early rotation, and it lacked on Surge a couple of games ago. This time, they're just trying to nip everything in the behind, and that's where you see Chip and Lime. They get nipped back to the lobby. Their tournament comes to an end. X-Rays back to the lobby. If his duo is not in it, he too and his duo's tournament does come to an end. But Evo and On1, placing after placing, climbing up that leaderboard, they found that recipe for success, and this is how they did it. Just flying high through the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's just On1.
I mean, that is a play that I definitely have not seen before, and it worked out incredibly well, securing that elimination, which now is going to grant them those 3 extra points that just could be the difference. As we take a look at a Legion Dragon in the 7th place spot, this is not a time you want to get eliminated when you're so close to that top 5. As the Leech is taking down 1, now made it a 1 versus 1. It's such an important engagement.
You see him hesitating on popping that big pot. Doesn't want to get caught off guard, because without having that weapon out, that's definitely going to be a chance. And talk about getting caught off guard. Vex and Apar back to the lobby, but honestly, we talked about it already. Learning lesson for them. First FNC as finals, and you know they're going to learn indeed. But Elige with the siphon, with the resources that he's been able to pick up, he got the reboot card. He's going deep in his zone to try to get his teammate back safe and sound.
Really hope they have enough time to successfully get that reboot. As we saw, Dragon had 3 eliminations, Elige had 1. I mean, it was looking so strong, but look at this, Jacob. Favs and Snacky getting third-partied from afar by Rex and Reed, and having Arkham and Epic Whale beside them. Literally the 3 tied-in duos of this match that are battling it out head-to-head are all very, very close by.
I know we said in order to be the best, you got to beat the best, and that's how Favs and Snacky are picking up on the eliminations on players and duos that are in the top 10. But who would have thought our 12th and final game, our top 3 in a triangle, all trying to take each other out and make the game as hard as possible. You see Batman Booga once again in the elimination feed, something that he's changing up massively from yesterday, and it's being a part of his huge successful run along with Wheels.
Trying to see what this means, Jacob. 3 of the duos in the top 3 formed a triangle close by. What's the code? What's trying to be told here? As Rex and Reet seem to might have an issue here on Storm Surge. I have to look for some damage, look for some tags, as Arkham and Epic Whale are doing exactly the same. Edit open. 326 above, though, so they're really not too stressed out at all here. It's basically just a bonus. Whereas some of their opponents close by might be fighting for their life here, trying to get those extra bit of tags, extra bit of damage.
I'm interested to see where they're all at in terms of Storm Surge, because you know as well as I do, these 3 teams right here don't waste time trying to out-heal, especially if they know a team is close by. I know you've talked about maybe the possibility of Reet and Rex being below. They were one of the teams throughout the course of actually winning that last game. They were below Surge, and they found a way to make it work at the end of the day, even going up against Arkham and Epic at one point. But the high ground right now, Bacon and Zuki spotting multiple players, multiple teams towards that low ground, and he's just waiting for that perfect opportunity to drop from the top.
It's all about patience. We've seen Arkham and Epic Whale do it throughout the tournament, playing in bushes. We've seen North Benji Fishy and Faxfitty do the same as well. I mean, if you're a duo that has that patience, can wait for the perfect moment to strike, it can be such a powerful strategy to get even eliminations, not just damage. As Rex and Reet, just like we suspected, 5 above Storm Surge. They're above, but it's way too close for comfort. As just like that, they get knocked below.
Yeah, the teeter-totter that is Storm Surge right now affecting Reet and Rex, and if they go down early, the leaderboard implications could be wild, because right now in 2nd place, that leaves it open for Arkham and Epic to continue to have a good game, because as of now, placement points have not really begun to tick in. So there is so much still on the board for these teams to grab. As you see them going back up of 5 above the threshold, continuously trying to be proactive to look for the shots because they know, you said it yourself, 5 is absolutely nothing. 31, still nothing that you can hang your hat on, so they must look for more.
Favs and Snacky actually taking shots at Rex and Reet as Epic Whale decides to join in to the party. 3 of these duos just kind of taking shots back and forth. Rex now alongside Reet, 31 above. I mean, they're doing just enough damage to stay on top of that threshold, but it'd be nice if they can do a bit more here, because the second they drop below, I mean, that's where the danger kicks in. 46 seconds until the zone starts to close. Third zone. It's getting closer and closer to that end game, where we're gonna find out what really is gonna happen here, Jacob.
Ooh. Is that a knock in the distance? Nope. An elimination as Tavern does go down. That's going to be that perfect third-party opportunity. But Epic Whale and Arpic also trying to get a piece of that pie in terms of the third party. They know they're weak. They know they overpeaked. And that's Favs and Snacky joining suit. They want to end the run, but they don't know it's actually Reet and Rex. They don't know the pressure that they're putting on could have so many different turns and outcomes if they do fall.
They really do not know the importance of this situation, Jacob, but it's working out so well for Arkham and Epic Whale and Favs and Snacky that Rex and Reet now, I mean, they still have a good amount of resources and materials, but that definitely has used a lot. They got the damage, but at what cost? Now they don't have their vehicle to rotate. Storm Surge is getting activated. These duos close by are gonna have to do damage, and it might be difficult for these duos that have just rotated into the zone or are getting close, like Angel and Nigel. They put up against these players here as Favs and Snacky with 331 damage above. I mean, they don't have to overpeak here. Any opening they do is if they feel like they can secure maybe an elimination or just some free tags without any consequences.
And you see about 5 teams that still need to rotate in on the north side. So Reet and Rex, it's not too much of a worry, even though they're barely above the damage threshold. As they got Nico, they got Tavern in the distance, and you can see them still putting on the shots, going above and beyond that Storm Surge threshold, even finding more eliminations. That's B-Dog, who did go down. Like I said, they're multi-time champions as well. They just won back-to-back games. They know they do not have to force any of these situations.
I mean, you might think those eliminations that Rex just got might not be too big of a deal, but those are 6 points just from those 2 eliminations from afar. That literally could be the difference between first and second place, as now the focus changes to another duo here that just got into zone. But Arkham quickly looking back at that first duo he was taking shots at, which is Rex and Reet. And I mean, this kind of triangle that we have formed is gonna have to come to a close as fourth zone has appeared all the way down in Rocky Reels. All 3 of these duos, I mean, plus the duos in their area, are gonna have to rotate, and it's not gonna be an easy one.
I gotta imagine, though, at least 7 launch pads that we count early on. That's if they didn't use them between these 3 teams alone. They have more than enough rotation to make it through this tough spot, but it's about the timing of when they actually rotate off. Your launch pad too early, become the focus of the lobby, and all those heals, the great loadout that you possess goes bye-bye out the window. But you launch pad too late, you get stuck on the congested part of the zone. It's gonna be just as hard to traverse through, so timing has to be perfect for these 3 teams.
Now, 35 seconds left until the zone starts to close. This is where the duos are kind of thinking, what's the final play gonna be? What's the rotate gonna be? Do we use a launch pad? Do we try and rotate either right, left, or even straight beeline to the zone? Do we wait for the duos in front of us to rotate and recycle their materials? There's a lot of options, but it's about picking the correct one, picking that right opportunity that gets you to zone without using too many materials and without losing too many shields. As Favs continues to take shots here, look around, but it's only 5 seconds, Jacob, until this zone starts to close.
Yep, the longer they take, the harder it's going to be, because you can already see it barely at the bottom half of any one of these guys' mini-maps. It's the northern west portion of the map that is becoming over-congested, and you see the early launch pads coming out, Favs flying through the sky, Reeks following suit, Arkham, Epic. It looks like they're going to try to save as much of the rotation as possible and walk their way in, possibly find the eliminations on the way after shot and shot going to be landed. Arkham doing a ton of damage to try to maintain that spot above the damage threshold.
Arkham now 300 plus above the Storm Surge threshold, but a duo that needs to get more. It's Favs and Snacky, 45 above. They're okay for now, but 8 players need to be eliminated for this Storm Surge threshold to not be activated. 30 seconds left until the zone closes. Faz and Snacky, they're hunting. They're looking for the damage. 27 above. They have wheels. Batman Booga close by. They have duos rotating late into the storm. It's Zuki's, it's Bacon, and Favs is finding that damage.
Luckily, a build from somebody else is going to save an additional team's life there from taking those shots, as Favs and Snacky are going to re-peek in different directions. They built more than enough here to find them way in towards zone and kind of peek during multiple angles as Wheels is going to get chunked out, taking a ton of damage, forced to stay in the backside of zone, waiting for Batman Booglas to maybe lead the way, but it's Rays who take down Batman Booga. Him and Wheels back to the lobby to go. Their tournament life comes to an end, and Bacon gets dropped. Salco, Kimchi, so many players are being lost on this rotation.
Zuki's 670 buff surge, but that doesn't matter if you're not able to get into the zone. Playing as a solo, Bacon has been eliminated. Gonna pop the mini shields here. Only 9 HP to work with for Zuki's. Currently in the 4th place spot. So close, but yet so far as the zone does close for South here. And it's just gonna start coming to a close in 10 seconds. All these duos are gonna have to make a rotate quickly.
And you can see for the first time in FNCS history, the 3 most recent champs were 1st, 2nd, and 3rd going into the last game. You talk about history. You talk about being neck and neck in terms of the leaderboards. And you can see Epic Whale picking up an elimination as placement points in a couple of moments are going to start to ring in for a lot of these teams. So going down now is going to be disastrous and have so many different implications to the leaderboard.
Big Will Arkham deciding to land a bit lower on the zone here as Rex uses his launch pad, but only at 17 shield. Got into some complications there as Reet as well lands further up in the zone. Have minis though to recuperate that shield they lost. Have the floppers, have the loot, have everything they need. I mean, this is it, Jacob. 50 players up, 27 duos. Last match of the day, last match of the finals for NA West, and Reed and Rex are getting into some complications here as the pressure is being applied. It's Fabs and Snacky, it's the rest of the lobby. They're taking shots.
Yeah, even though it's not actually landing in terms of damage, it's forcing out a lot of the materials and resources. That's why you see them with the quick rotation towards the side. They're trying to minimize the usage, but they might force out a launch pad as well. But the high ground, they get overtaken. That's Nigel, that's Angel. Reed and Rex go down. It's theirs for the taking now in terms of Arkham and Epic.
Arkham and Epic Whale are still up. Favs and Snacky are still up. It's the 1st place team and the 3rd place team. Will Reet and Rex be able to hold that 2nd place, or are Arkham and Epic going to overtake them, or even another duo gonna come out on top? There's still so much to come. 3 seconds left until this first moving zone begins to close and the rotates commence.
You can see it's a 39-point lead for Favs and Snacky. So one way or another, Epic Whale and Arkham are going to have to start getting eliminations. They got to start hoping for the demise of Favs and Snacky to go down now, because the more placement points they pick up, it's the more eliminations that are going to be needed for Arkham and Epic if they want to call themselves champions. But the shots fire in. It's not going to be much, but you can see the high ground play, recycle of the launch pad. That's Yasir and Kevin that have the high ground. You see Favs and Snacky, they're going to take the front side of zone. So many teams following suit because they know taking high ground now is just too early.
High ground is incredibly dangerous, especially in this last match where it's all on the line. All of the duos want that victory royale. Is now Fabs and Snacky. They're still up, 51 above Surge. Still 7 players need to be eliminated for Storm Surge to no longer be active, so they're looking for damage now below. Kevin Yazir still have the high ground, but Arkham and Epic Whale won it. Looking above, taking the shots from the 2nd height and thinking, is it our time to strike?
Isn't their time indeed, but you see Kinzo front side of zone along with School trying to put damage onto Yasir and Kevin so they don't have that easy road to the finish. Multiple players getting dropped throughout the mix. Launch pads being used. You see Beast trying to stay ahead of zone. Tao Tai soon to follow. Nigel, Angel, everybody trying to escape the madness that is the mid and the low ground as Kevin and Yasir still holding strong, but multiple teams looking backside. But it's Arkham, it's Epic Whale trying to make a play for the high ground, but they separate just a little bit too much. That could be the time. Arkham gets dropped. Arkham gets dropped. It's all up to Epic here. The piece control is in. He gets the knock onto Yasir, but he needs the finish. He needs the loot, but he's going to try to reposition himself here. The piece control going over. There's the cypher we were looking for, but Kevin peeks at the perfect moment. Epic Whale gets dropped, and that secures the victory for Favs and Snacky.
They keep it going, though. They want to finish strong as Favs secures another knockdown, has 1 elimination, but it's going to quickly go to 2 here as Snacky as well has 2. But the issue is they don't have shields to work with. They got floppers, they got seafood, but they need that shield as they continue pushing through, continue getting eliminations. Now with just 14 duos up, Fabs and Snacky could come out on top here.
For them, it's not about to win anymore. It's about the legacy that they want to cement, but I might have cursed them. Fabs goes down. 6 eliminations as a team so far, but if anybody can do it and still take over this last game, it is going to be Snacky himself. And Kevin towards the top. He lost his teammate early on. You see Chicken, you see Jesus, Pars, Raze, Yumi, Squishy, everybody trying to stay front side of zone, because for them, it's thousands of dollars that are still up for grabs.
Will Snacky and Fabs be able to cross that 400-point threshold? Currently taking a rotate through zone, using that med miss to stay up. Snacky looking for the perfect angle. He might have just found an opponent. Takes Yumi down. That's one more elimination for Snacky, giving him those 3 extra points. But now with just 8 duos up, Snacky is clutching it as a solo.
He can do it, like I said, 7 eliminations. He has some of the most in the game so far. Another angle, Peekaboo, I see you, but unfortunately, he goes down, but the damage has been done. He feels like a champion. Back to back to back he goes, but like I said, so much money up for grabs for Dragon and Elise, 7th place. They want more. They know their pockets can run deep. They just need the bread to fill it.
Last match of the day, and Dragon with 9 eliminations, looking to go into the double digits. Elite with 3, but Dragon gets fully boxed up, gets knocked down. Now Elite, it's all up to him, playing it as a solo. How many eliminations are they going to be able to secure? Currently in the 7th place spot. This is where it matters. Elite on the high ground, going against Kevin, who will be able to take this elimination. Elite gets a tag. It's not going to be enough to crack him, though. Starts dropping down, playing it slowly. Only one more build.
And you can see 7th place, down below, 8th place, 16th, 14th. So much money up for grabs. But for Kevin and Yasir, you're going to have to take what you can get, because you go down. For Elise, it's about holding on to the 7th place position, because that's money lost to Pars and Raze. But only 5 players left. One single solo towards the high ground as Pars and Raze waiting for the opportunity to drop Chicken and Andy in. And that opportunity is now as they get the siphon towards the low ground. 2v2 Takata for thousands of dollars.
Jesus and Chicken on the high ground. Pars and Raze on the low ground as Raze opens up, takes the peek, takes the shot. 38. It's not enough, but his duo partner, Pars, just gets that shot onto Jesus, getting that elimination. But now it's a 1 versus 1. It's all up to Pars, and he does it, finishing it off strong, staying up when it most mattered and securing that last victory royale.
And I think, and it's a big I think right there, even though our big 3 went down early on, Fabs and Snacky cemented their legacy, but there was still so much money up for grabs, and with a victory royale like that, you see them jump from 8th place to 7th place. The pockets get deeper.
I mean, it just shows the importance of that last match, of giving it your all to the last game of the day. I mean, Elite won game 6 of day 1, and I thought for a moment there that he was going to take game 6 of day 2, but look, I could talk all day. I could go through the whole match, but I know you want to see the leaderboard. You want to see who is taking this, this FNCS. So Kelly, Panda, and Clay, let us know.
For the final time of the season, thank you so much to Kata and Jacob, and quick shout outs to Pars and Raze, the 2nd place team from last season. But we gotta talk about it. Our 1st place team, the reigning champs, coming back for the 3-peat. It is Fabs and Snacky.
Listen, I am so excited for them, right? Obviously, super talented players. We saw a little bit of a rocky semifinals, but it didn't matter. They came out 414 points, 65 eliminations. What?
And an average placement of 10th place?
Oh my
They
God.
came out swinging. They wanted to prove a point and say it wasn't just, they said, no, let's go for the 3-peat, Kelly.
And what a wild ending that was for like the finals games 10 and 11 to be all of the last 3 teams holding out strong, and then to have them all go down kind of early. I mean, my goodness, everyone, this is it. It's a bittersweet moment, but Jacob, Takata, to join you guys one last time here on center stage. And I mean, I don't even know what to say. I feel like I'm at a loss for words. Guys, again, it's a bittersweet moment, but I'm so glad to be here. Let's take a quick look at the earnings for our teams here. Of course, we're going to be looking at Favs and Snacky walking away with $45,000, 50 points ahead of second place, which is Rex and Reet. Of course, third place with 3 of our predictions is going to be Arkram and Epic Whale. Bacon and Zooks did a great job. So did Elysian Dragon with that double-digit final game. Pars and Rays, the team that got second place last season, is going to be in our top 10. And big shout-outs to all of the teams that competed today. All of them are going to be walking away with money, and all of them are going to be walking away with pride. But only one team is going to be walking away with the Axe of Champions, Favs and Snacky. But guys, we're the final region. It has been such an incredible journey for all of us. And I know our incredible production team that has been here since before EU started. I know you guys are tired. I know you want to go home, but I just want to give a moment for some final thoughts, Jacob.
I mean, I'm just incredible and proud to be here, excited. Even though we as a trio, Arkham Epic, didn't get that victory, we definitely secured redemption together and proved they are still one of the top teams in the region.
I mean, it's been incredible, right? From the qualifiers to the semis to the finals now, the clutches did not stop from day 1 to day 2. And I mean, Faz and Snacky, back-to-back duo FNCSs? Like, what more can we get?
Yeah, I mean, if I shouldn't have doubted them. I literally watched the semifinals, and I'm like, listen, I talked to Snacky. I know he's confident too, but man, what a performance. They deserve it. After what we just witnessed, like, there is no doubt in my mind that they're the Kings right now.
There's no doubt. There's great games all around, though, and that's what we wanted to see. It came down to that final moment, and for them to get that convincing victory royale as well, right, the overall victory royale, we'll say, as well as go on in that game is just great.
I mean, it's been such a high note all day. Let's remind ourselves of all the high notes that we had between all of the regions, everyone. Here are your 7 FNCS champions. We, of course, had Aqua and Vino winning out Europe. Peterbot and Bila taking NA East. You just saw Favs and Snacky doing the back-to-back duos in NA West. We had Low Ground and Zeet taking Brazil. We had Runa and Pio grabbing Asia. Oceania was Volks and Looter. And then Middle East was Cruel and Metal Asta. Congratulations to these 7 teams right here. They have played their hearts out over the last 12 games, and all of them deserve their spots. But speaking of spots, let's remind everyone of our predictions, guys. I had the second place team. I guess, you know what, for the personal day, I'll take the win. Rex and Reet on top. But Panda, Wheels, and Booga, you said that they were going to make a comeback, and compared to yesterday, they did.
Yeah, they definitely made a pretty impressive comeback. Look, it's not the games that they were looking to have, but I'm still proud of the boys. They did exceptionally well, especially having a rough start yesterday. So props to them. Go next FNCS, and they definitely can do well.
And Clay, Arkram and Epic Whale showcasing why they are one of the best teams in NA West, grabbing the first VR of day 1, grabbing the first VR of day 2. Even though they didn't get first place, you got to be proud of your pick.
Oh, I'm so proud of them, especially going into the next season as well. Shows that, hey, they're here again, that we can't count them out, even though, you know, they may not have performed the way they wanted to.
But who can we count on to get our winning for the predictions, everyone? Who is it gonna be? Takada. Takada, congratulations. How are you feeling right now? You are the winner for our predictions.
Look, I was feeling stressed out, but I knew with a pick like Arkham and Epic Whale, you know, they had that consistency for the finals. They made me proud, right? Top 3. I mean, it was really the Titans duking it out in the end there. And now, I mean, with the predictions, I mean, you know, I'm feeling pretty happy.
And much like our players are going to be walking away with some prize money, you're going to be walking away with a prize yourself. Oh, Zeke. There you have it.
Whoa.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, Zeke. Thank you so much. This, I mean, look. Snacking Favs, they got the Axe of Champions, but this goes to the heart, okay? The prediction royalty. I mean, What more do you really want?
You better watch out. You saw the way I was looking at Zeke days ago.
I
You
saw
better
that.
watch out. That might end up in my luggage.
Oh my God. I
Relax,
mean,
right? Calm down.
congratulations, everyone. And congratulations to all of our teams. And to thank you guys at home so much. On behalf of our incredible production team, on the Fortnite competitive team, for Europe, NA East, and then, of course, Jacob, Takada, Panda, Clay, and Zeke in the background right there. We appreciate you all so much, and we can't wait to see you next time.
Beep, 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 beep.
Thank everybody for watching. Thank you. Appreciate you vibing and chilling with me. Be back with some Fortnite tomorrow.